when you need anybody else to understand it in order for you to feel good, you're in trouble. So what we're saying is, so let's say you're standing as an individual and you're watching the news of the world and you're seeing all these things that you don't want to be the case. And let's say that you're not even taking sides with who's right and who's wrong. You just see it as a big mess and a lot of people suffering, and you would like it to be different than that. You want different conditions. So you've launched all these rockets of desire and all these rockets of desire, but you, like almost everybody else, you don't even come close to being a vibrational match to what you've asked Source for, even though Source has the ability to yield it all to you. You don't even come close to it because you've got your eye so much on the condition. You're taking score so much. You're aware of it not working out. You hold yourself in vibrational accord with the problems. And so even though you and billions of others for generations longer than we can even speak about have created a vortex of well-being that is available to anyone who allows themselves to be a vibrational match to it. So you finally realize that you can't change those conditions. You can't even get the ear of the United Nations. You can't even get a senator of the United States of America to answer your letter. You can't even get a hearing in the White House. You can't even get anybody who has the ability to do anything. Esther was in a meeting room last week, and she could not even get high enough in the authority of the meeting room to make them understand that she could get 474 people in this room. In other words, they said, no, this room won't hold 474 people. And Esther said, the sign on the wall says that it will. And they said, yeah, but it won't. And Esther said, but the sign on the wall said that it will. And they said, yeah, but your stage is too big and you're taking up too much room. And so the solution was they opened the air wall and they moved everything back 10 feet. And then they had enough room for everything. But Esther knew that they were completely unreasonable. But she could not find a person under those conditions with enough authority to be reasonable. You can't find enough people with enough authority to be reasonable. You have to give it up. If your happiness depends upon somebody else being reasonable, you're in big trouble. But you as an individual, we've been saying this for a long time, you have the ability to find happiness in the midst of all of that discord. And when you are someone who is willing to find happiness in the midst of all of that discord, then maybe others will follow suit. Maybe they won't, but you've done the only thing that you can do. You've found happiness in the midst of all of that discord, you see.
I get it.
You revere masters who talk about these things, but they seem like just singular individuals who struggle against a mass consciousness that doesn't get it. And we want you to understand that mass consciousness that doesn't get it is creating something that eventually will, for example, in every moment, old ornery ones are croaking and new allowing ones are being born. So the ratio of allowing is improving and improving and improving. And while there will always be things about your existing what is that you would like to be different, what is becoming is always an improvement. The evolution of all species says that it must be. So if you can just not be impatient, and you can find your happiness now because you can, and you cannot feel guilty. You see, this is the conversation that we had before is really about what we're talking about here. What right do you have to be happy in a world that is full of turmoil? And we say, if you need the world to not be full of turmoil before you can be happy, you're not ever going to be happy because this is a absolute given intention from non-physical. You intended to come in your differences for the expansion of the whole. None of you said, I will be born into physical, but before I get there, clean it all up. Get it all worked out. And then I will go and I will observe a peaceful world. That's not what you said. You said, I will move into this world of variety and I will come to my own personal preferences and I will align with my preferences and I will live happily ever after. And the preferences perceived, received by others will not be the basis by which I allow my alignment. Are you hearing us? We think most of you do not understand it. We think that it is a notion that you are not yet living. It is a notion that you want to live, but it is not a notion that you are living. Because you're still upset that your brother or sister feels left out, and you're still upset about this and that. In other words, most people are far from that. But it's so easy to accomplish it once you care about how you feel. So much has happened. We're in such a good place. Let's not mess it up. Let's take the momentum that we've already established and let's hold that place of knowing that all is well and acknowledge that you're an extension of source energy and you are here with great purpose, and that purpose is joyful beingness. That purpose is discovering a way to let the natural resources of well-being flow to you through the details of your preferences. Did you hear that? The resources of well-being flow to you through the details of your important preferences. You've been sifting and living and identifying your important preferences, and not one of your preferences has gone unnoticed or untended to. Who you are and what you want in detail beyond our ability to find verbal description exists in your vortex, in your vibrational reality. And now it's your work to create somehow, you're going to have to figure it out, a vibrational atmosphere, a mood. You are the creator of the mood that allows you the realization of the unfolding of all of these preferences. And you've put enough there to keep yourselves happily discovering for 20 or 30 lifetimes. It's such an abundance of magnificent detail that you have defined and that you still continue to define. If you can, stop comparing yourself to others and no longer feel a need to defend your position or to justify it or to rationalize it, to be righter than this person. The other day, someone delivered the most beautiful bouquet of flowers to Esther at her new house. And someone was there with her when they came. And the flowers were so big and so heavy, it was hard to get them to the place she wanted them to be, but she managed it, and oh, they're so pretty. And then she clinked on the vase, and she said to this person, "Yeah, that's a glass vase." And the person said, "No, it isn't, it's plastic." So Esther took her ring, clinked it. "No, it's glass, it's glass." "No, it's not, it's plastic." Never mind the most beautiful bouquet of flowers in the world. This vase is glass. No, it isn't. It's plastic. And Esther used all of her restraint to just not drop it on the floor. Because it felt really important that this person understand the rightness of Esther's assumption. It is glass. But so what? So what? Does it really matter? Apparently so. Does it matter? Your life has brought you to assumptions. Your life has brought you to policies. Your life has brought you to decisions. And you want to defend them, and we want to ask you why. Why do you need to defend your positions when there's only one truth that you need to remember, and that is you are blessed beyond verbal description, and source energy is flowing to you constantly, and everything that you have ever wanted is available to you. All you got to do is love yourself enough to stop arguing for your limitations, to stop justifying and defending and rationalizing. You got to give up the idea of earning it and accept that it exists, you see. Because in the belief of your unworthiness, there is effort that you're applying that is blocking the stream of well-being that is around you at all times. And that is why you don't feel good. It's why you have negative emotion. It's why you have a headache. It's why you get sick. It's why life isn't fun. You got to look for joy where it is, where it's easy to find, and then watch what happens next. We want to say to you that you are loved. But more than that, we want you to hear it and know it when you hear it. We want to say to you that you are loved in the purest form, but words don't teach. You have to let the universe show you how loved you are. But the tricky thing about that is you won't let the universe show you how loved you are when you don't feel loved. So you're in this sort of cycle of not feeling loved but needing something to give you the reason to feel loved before you feel loved, but you can't get there from there. So just go find some way to feel love, will you? Just go somewhere. Just go somewhere and look for the evidence of it, because it's all around you. Like, for example, you could notice that the sun came up this morning. Now, you want to say, oh, that wasn't for me. Oh, yes, it was. Oh, yes, it was. The earth is spinning in its orbit. Oh, that's not for me. There are so many others. I don't feel loved unless I'm separated out and I'm the only one who is loved. Then I will feel love. I'll find a lover who will just love me, who will give me undivided attention. You see what we're getting at? You have to accept the oneness of all and feel the love that is offered and take your share of it, because it's offered to you. It's not offered around you. It's not offered with you being the exception of it. It's offered to you constantly, steadily, all the time, no exceptions. Get out there and find the evidence of it, and let the momentum of that increase until the well-being of your life is evidenced to you in every possible way. There is great, and when we say great, you have no idea how great we mean by great love here for you. And for now, we are complete. We've enjoyed this interaction more than words can explain. You are the creator of your reality, but more important, you're the creator of your perception of reality. But more important, you're a creator of the mood. You are the creator of how you feel right now. You are the creator of your vibration. You are the creator of your ability to perceive. You are the creator of your perception of reality. When you accept that every one of you who perceive is perceiving reality differently, then you will understand that you can create the reality that you want to create by creating the perception of the reality that you want to create. All you have to do is see it and believe it, and it must be. Everything in the universe will conform to your perception of reality. But you've got to trust that you have the ability to do that, and you've got to feel worthy enough to give it a go. You have the universal forces at your back, and everyone who knows you and loves you, and everyone who knows you loves you, is focused with you, reveling in the expansion that you are enjoying. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain in your vortex. What a nice day. You guys are wonderful.